soldier stood up and suddenly realized tens of thousands of zombies were charging straight toward them. Sensing danger, the soldier instantly panicked. He quickly grabbed his weapon and rushed to regroup with his team. But the only helicopter they had was still under repair. If it wasn't fixed in time, they would all be doomed. The zombie horde was now less than 1,000 meters away. Jack urged his teammates to speed up the repair. Luckily, after 2.5 minutes, they finally got the chopper running. Everyone quickly boarded the helicopter, ready to lift off.
Let's go, move it!
But at the crucial moment, the engine wouldn't start. Thankfully, David gave it a manual boost, and it roared to life. As the helicopter slowly moved toward the runway, they finally saw a glimmer of hope to survive. But it was far from the time to let their guard down. The helicopter needed enough speed to take off properly, but the zombies behind had caught their scent. They chased after the chopper like mad beasts.
They're catching us!
Fortunately, Lisa pulled up the nose of the aircraft, and the helicopter took off successfully. But just as they were celebrating their narrow escape, the wing suddenly began spewing thick black smoke. Before the pilot could even react, the chopper went into a steep dive toward the ground. Everyone inside the cabin was gripped by panic. It felt like death was already knocking.
Going down. Brace for impact, okay?
Luckily, they made it out with their lives. Everyone only suffered minor injuries. It turned out that a new virus had suddenly broken out in the future. Anyone infected would turn into a zombie. Even scarier, these zombies had a certain level of intelligence. To survive in this apocalyptic world, Jack and his group planned to reach a safe island. It would take them 2 full days to get there. They chose to rest overnight in an abandoned train station. But in the middle of the night, David quietly sneaked into one of the train cars. It turned out he had already been bitten by a zombie. Luckily, the wound wasn't deep, so he hadn't turned yet, but to avoid being abandoned by his teammates, he chose to keep it a secret. Early the next morning, they continued their journey toward the safe island. David put on sunglasses. His face was pale as a sheet, and he couldn't stop shaking. Suddenly, Jack pinned him down. After questioning him, David finally confessed the truth, but kind-hearted Jack just couldn't bring himself to hurt him. Just then, Lisa's voice called out from nearby. She had found a cabin in the woods. There seemed to be a light flickering inside. Jack cautiously went to take a look, but the house lights suddenly turned on.
Who are you, and what do you want?
Even though Lisa stepped forward and tried to explain, no one dared to relax under such circumstances. The homeowner then ordered them to drop their weapons. Only then were they allowed to take shelter inside. The owner turned out to be an engineering professor. In this chaotic world, his skills became incredibly useful. The cabin